Why in the world am I buying CDs in 2023? And if you do, well, how do you do it right? Let's talk about it. I've used streaming services like everyone else for a pretty long time. Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, and so on, but they all have the same problem. See, I'll be scrolling through my library and half the tracks, it seems like, are grayed out. They can't play for one reason or another, are removed and then re-added to the platform. I have to go back, delete the old track, and add it again to my library. It's one of the frustrations of not actually owning your music. In a way, I feel like the streaming services that I've enjoyed so much have really let me down. But you know what'll never let you down? This sweet hoodie, dmstech.store. These are made in France now. They're actually really, really comfortable, and they have side pockets instead of one big center pocket. Seriously, I wear this thing all the time. But there's other reasons to buy a CD as well. Spotify, well, they pay a fraction of a penny to an artist. So this is a good way to support the artists that you actually like. But it also means you have a backed up analog copy in high resolution of the media you enjoy. It can never be taken off your streaming service, and you can actually stream the CD if you want from your own copy. I'm gonna run you guys through the process of how I take these and copy them onto my machines or my server, and maybe in the future, if you guys are interested, I'll tell you how I actually stream them from my server to my phone anywhere in the world, like my own personal high-resolution Spotify that the music will never disappear from. And maybe we'll find a few more reasons why analog media is fun along the way. This is an external USB CD drive. Get these on Amazon pretty cheap. A lot of them are actually optical drives taken from laptops and just put into these chassis, old recycled laptops. And this is the Tron Legacy soundtrack by Daft Punk. People seem to like this soundtrack, so let's copy it onto my computer. Come on, everybody knows how to use a CD drive, but what you might not know is software that makes it a little bit easier along the way. For backing up my CD, I'm using software called EAC, Exact Audio Copy. There's a bunch of different formats you could use. You could do FLAC, MP3, whatever. Personally, I do WAV. It's uncompressed, it takes up more space than something like FLAC, but I think it's truly archival quality, and it's nice to have it there in case I ever need it. And if I need to save space, I can always convert it to FLAC in the future. I pick a folder to put everything in, and inside Exact Audio Copy, there's a little button here. It lets you get metadata for the CD. Now, after a few uses, I think after 10 or so, it costs $7 for a lifetime license. It's absolutely worth it for me personally, but you don't have to do that. You can manually enter all the information for the CD yourself. Then it's as simple as starting the import. When it's done here, you have a report showing how many errors there were. It will generally be none. But Windows is a little bit weird with WAVs, and sometimes you miss out on things like the album artist or the album name itself. Or maybe you also have to add in the album artwork. Well, luckily, that metadata retriever will pull the album artwork there, so you have all that, but I'm using a piece of free software called MP3 Tag, just drag in the tracks, and I can blanket give all of them the extra metadata they need. That way, when I import them into something like Winamp, Foobar, or so on to listen to my music, well, it'll actually all be organized properly by album and artist. Which, speaking of, that's kind of probably the software you'd use for listening. A lot of people like Foobar, some people still use Winamp, some are into Roon, some are into Audirvana. Heck, you might even use something like Plex. There's a lot of options. And technically you can even play WAVs on things like Windows Media Player. Now that one is not for me, personally. I like collecting vinyl too. In fact, that's more popular these days, but in a way, CDs gives me the best of both worlds. I get to have a physical copy of something that I can keep for archival purposes, but I get to have a digital stream of it as well, which isn't to say I don't love my records. I absolutely do. In fact, a lot of albums I collect in both vinyl and in CD form. It is more expensive than pretty much any streaming service. A CD will run you somewhere in the ballpark of $10, and, you know, a streaming service is maybe only $20 a month. That's 2 CDs a month. Then again, for the cost of a Tidal premium subscription, you can buy 24 CDs in a year, and that is a lot more money going to the artists that you love, and, well, something you get to keep forever. Should everyone buy CDs? Probably not. The average person, it makes sense to keep using Spotify, but for me personally, for how much I love audio, for how much I care about it, and for the conveniences I enjoy, like not having to deal with tracks that disappear, being able to always have this backup when I need it, well, I think a CD or a record is still the way for me. So that is going to wrap up this video. Leave a like down below if you liked it. Let me know in the comments what you think about this whole thing. Do you still buy CDs? Am I a crazy person? I'd like to know what you think. If you want to get active in the community, you can at the forums or Discord, both at the link in the video description. And as always, don't forget to stick around and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. Until next one, guys. Peace.